Alright guys, my name is Shervin, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the Scotiabank Scene VISA Card and discuss why it may not be worth having anymore. Now, I've previously made a number of different videos where I've highlighted this card and discussed how great it is. And that's because for the longest time, this card offered the equivalent of 5% cashback for every time you went to the Cineplex movie theaters. And of course, you had that benefit without having to pay any annual fees for owning this card. But now just recently, Scotiabank announced that they are going to make some changes to this card starting from October. And unfortunately, these are not necessarily changes for the better. And if you watch to the end of this video, you're going to find out exactly what these changes are, how the card compares to other no-fee credit cards available in Canada after these changes, and what my thoughts are on this card after the changes are actually applied in October. But before we get into all that stuff, if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the subscribe button down below and join the community. I make new videos about personal finance and investing on a regular basis. And by subscribing to the channel, you get to see all my new videos right as they come out. Also, if you enjoyed the video and want to support me even more, then do me a favor and smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. But now with all that said, let's get right into what the announcement said. Now, as I mentioned before, for the longest time, this card offered 5 scene points for every dollar spent at Cineplex movie theaters. And of course, since each scene point is worth about 1 cent when redeeming towards movies at Cineplex, you are essentially getting the equivalent of 5% cashback with this card at the movie theater. But now starting from October, you're only going to get 2 scene points for every dollar spent at movie theaters. Which means that now instead of getting 5% back in value, you're only getting 2% back. Now, obviously, this is a major downgrade and it makes the card not look anywhere near as good as it did before. But if the card was still offering the best value back at movie theaters, you could still say, you know what, even though it's not as good as it was before, it's still the best option out there. But the main problem for this Visa card is that there is another Scotiabank credit card that also has no fee, that also gives you 2 scene points for every dollar spent at movie theaters, as well as a bunch of other stuff as well. And of course, that is none other than the Scotiabank American Express Card. Now, this card gives you 2 scene points for every dollar spent at movie theaters, on food, on groceries, on streaming, or on gas. Now, even though for some of those categories like groceries and food, you can find other no-fee cards that give you a better rate, there is no no-fee cards available in Canada that give you a higher rate than 2% back on gas or 2% back on streaming. Which means that if you own this card, you're not only getting everything that the Visa card is offering you, you're also getting 2% back on gas and 2% back on streaming. So if you're someone who doesn't have either of these cards, I just don't see why anyone would go for the Visa card that has less features and offers less cash back on everything else. Now, of course, some would argue that American Express is not accepted everywhere you go at every available merchant. And that's fine because you ideally should have a number of different cards in your wallet and some of those should be Visas or MasterCards. So even if you end up in a situation where your American Express is not accepted, then you can just use one of your other cards. But generally speaking, at least from my experience, I've found that 95% of places I go accept American Express without any problems. But of course, everyone's mileage is going to vary depending on where you live and where you spend money. So overall, if you don't already have the Scene Visa card, just go for the Scene American Express card. It's just a better deal. But what about those of you who, just like me, have owned the Scene Visa card for a little while now? Obviously, the card is nowhere near as good as it used to be and is slightly inferior to the American Express version. But I would still recommend that you don't close this card even if you already own it and even if you're going to get the American Express version. Because anytime you close a credit card, you're going to lose all the credit history that you have on that card, which shortens your total length of credit. Also, your overall credit limit is going to be lower since you've closed this card and you don't have that amount of credit available to you, which in turn means that you're going to have a higher credit utilization month over month because you just have a lower total limit. And since this card has no annual fees whatsoever, you can just keep it open even if you never use it. So I would recommend, even if you decide you don't want to use this card anymore, even if you decide you want to go and get the American Express version, do not close this version, just keep it open even if you never end up using it. So to quickly recap, if you already have the Scene Visa card, do not close it, just keep it open. If you don't already have the Scene Visa card, then I would recommend you take a look at the American Express version because it is slightly better. But I also have a little something to add, and that is that I personally have not had the best experience using Scotiabank credit cards. Now, when I first opened up my Scene Visa card, they were offering a sign-up bonus where if you spent at least $750 in the first 3 months of you using this card, then you would get 5,000 extra Scene points. So of course, for the first 3 months, I made sure to put all my expenses on this card and I spent way more than $750. But the weird thing was that I never got my sign-up bonus after the first 3 months ended. I even waited a couple of months because I thought maybe, I don't know, it takes a month or two for it to come through, but it just never did. In fact, a couple of months later, I phoned into the customer service to ask where my sign-up bonus was. Now, the first time I called in, I waited on the line for about 45 minutes in order to speak with an agent and let them know that my sign-up bonus had not arrived yet. But after about 45 minutes of me waiting, the phone call just hung up. So I called in again next day, and after waiting over an hour in order to speak with an agent, I was not able to get anywhere with them. I mentioned that I fulfilled all the requirements, that I spent more money than was required of me in the first 3 months in order to receive the bonus, and the fact that I just hadn't received it for whatever reason. And after over half an hour of me explaining the situation to various different people on the call, they just asked me to take a screenshot from the website and send it to them. They just said that they're going to send me an email and I have to reply to that email with screenshots of the website and the offer and the terms of service. Which is weird because this is their sign-up bonus, so aren't they supposed to know what their sign-up bonus is? But regardless, I agreed and I said I would do it, and that's exactly what I did. I took screenshots of the website, I took screenshots of all the terms of service for this specific offer, and I sent it to them. But regardless of all that effort, the sign-up bonus never came in. They never replied again to the email to let me know they're even looking into it or anything. And after a while, I thought, you know what? It's 5,000 Scene Points. It's worth about $50, and it's not really worth my time to sit on the line for hours on end and talk to so many different people and do it over and over and over again just to get a $50 value. So I just gave up, and still to this date, I have not received the sign-up bonus for that card, even though I did everything I had to do. And this is why I just wanted to let you know that Scotiabank, specifically for their credit cards, don't have the best track record as far as customer service. So just something to keep in mind if you want to sign up for one of their credit cards, but you may not end up getting the sign-up bonus that they're saying on the website. But alright, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now make sure you're following me on Instagram. I post there regularly, so if you want to be a part of it there, make sure you're following me there. And as always, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we talked about in this video, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I always respond to every single question that comes in. And now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.